Block Ram 313 back at it again. Why? It's because you know this is therapeutic, man. Back again for another therapy session. And in this session, I want to discuss an observation. An observation of the title of this video. The two types of men that she chooses. The two types of men that she dates. In fact, we can expand this to say that these are the two types of men that exist in society in general, at least when it comes to the realm of dating and relationships. And those two types that she dates, that she chooses, a man can either be a son or a father. Now, I'm not talking about anything incestuous. What I mean here is that a man is either behaving as her son, a subordinate, or her father, an authority. Let's unpack this a little bit. And let's deal with the number one, the son. The son typically can be seen as being broken or a male that is dysfunctional. Typically, we can see this characteristic or this template in the thug, the street hustler. Now, I know many guys want to be a thug, but what I mean by thug is this. A guy that is in the street 24/7 trying to get paid through some type of criminality or vice of some sort. And with this type of lifestyle choice, typically comes with a certain type of behavior. And that behavior can often be seen as impulsive, an impulsive behavior that he exhibits. Thugs tend to be impulsive, undisciplined, immoral, and selfish. In other words, very childlike. Now, I'm not saying this is typical of every single thug. So if you're a gangster, maybe you're different. But in general, typically, this is an expression of son behavior or subordinate behavior. There's no real authority in that. Why? Because it is vice. It is criminality. And you leave yourself open and subject to too many different factors. And it shows a level of immaturity. It shows a level of impulsivity and a lack of self-discipline, self-control, and real manhood. In my opinion, at least. Am I saying every thug is a son or a boy? No, I'm not saying that. I'm speaking of typical behavioral patterns. So again, when she deals with the thug son or the type of guy who fits these characteristics, that gentleman is mainly going to be her subordinate in some way. And there's a second type of son akin to the thug. And that's the couch king. The at home with the PlayStation, with him smoky smoke, and him gym shoes. Now, again, if you are a guy in that situation, it's not a put down, it's an observation. There are some reasons why a man is at home with his parents. Could be that he's taking care of them or what have you. Or he's just a single man, doesn't wish to move out. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the couch king, the guy who doesn't work, and he is at home playing PlayStation. He is a son, and he's been this way. His mother, a single mother, allowed him to do that when he was 10 years old, 20 years old, and at 30 years old. And when he meets a woman that he likes, his couch kingdom continues at her house. He's a man child. His behavior of laying up in mama's house doing nothing has carried over into his relationships. a product of single motherhood. Again, the eternal child, the grown baby man. Again, baby man at 20, 30, 40, 50. In fact, you can see these guys who still introduce themselves by their childhood name. Hey, I'm Bam Bam. Hey, I'm Pookie. I'm talking about in formal environments. He's still Pookie from the block, no matter what the occasion is. It's the name his mama gave him, right? So he sports that everywhere. And typically this type of guy, this type of man, this type of son, this type of subordinate to women, he typically lives between mama and girlfriend, but never on his own. He's either at mama house or he's either at his woman house. And at both houses, frequently he's being yelled at. Clean up. Take out the trash. Why you ain't doing nothing? Mama allows him to lay up. Wifey allows him to lay up. He's typically lazy. Now, again, I'm not talking about someone with a mental or physical disability. I'm talking about just a shiftless man who doesn't want anything for himself, not trying to obtain anything of his own. A man who does not seek to be autonomous and independent, walk and live on his own 2 feet by the sweat of his own brow. I'm talking about that guy, the lazy guy. And we at home with mama or his woman, typically he's not cooking, he's not cleaning, he's not doing nothing. House husband, still a little boy, a son. He is no grown man. However, his girlfriend loves it. Mama loves it. And never being put in a situation where he has to really be a responsible man. Always a child, never an adult. And many, a succubi, love having this man being dependent on her. Gives her a sense of control. Gives her a sense of even pride even. Now, such a man as this has many insecurities, many mental and emotional issues, whether he admits it or not, because you're dependent on a woman for your every bit of sustenance. And if she gets mad and mama ain't around, the guy is homeless. And she takes advantage of this. That gives her such control and such power. And then when she's tired, she can get him and toss him out. And of course, it will always be another guy willing to have a woman take care of him fully. And this gives her power, confidence, control, and security in a relationship. Knowing that she pulls all the strings. Although she may complain about his shiftlessness, his laziness, his lack of manhood, she really enjoys it. And guess what? A man can have a job and even make more money than his woman. But the said man can still be a son if he's still mentally and emotionally dependent on his woman. If she guides him and tells him how to behave, what to wear, how to get his hair cut. If he needs her for motivation. I heard a dude say, man, I need me a woman, man. You know, my woman motivate me. If you need a woman for your motivation, then you are truly lost. You should be self-motivated, right? But again, that is the blue pill, right? He needs his woman for motivation. He needs to be led by his woman. All relationships, a man is either son or papa. Either he's the subordinate or he's leading. And that's a weak beta position to be in. The son. Now, moving along. The father When a man is the authority in a relationship, typically he's a man who has his own. He's confident. He makes the rules. He leads. He is the head. He is king. Now, this is very rare. He also controls rewards and punishments. He sets the template. The pace. He runs the show. He is the authority. Now, women will actually, because of their duplicitous nature, she will sleep with both of them. I knew a woman who was bougie, upscale, red bottom shoes, the nice slacks, the expensive blouse, had her hair laid, expensive makeup on, pearls around her neck, jewelry on, looking real corporate and real bougie and real upscale. Drove a luxury car. Now, knowing this woman, at one point in her adulthood life, when in her 30s, not when she was a little girl, in her 20s or teenagers, in her 30s, at one point, she set herself to date corporate men and put herself in a position to try to seek after athletes and entertainers. She wanted to be taken care of. But there were times in her life where she took care of a guy. Bought a guy some Jordan gym shoes. Dealt with a guy that stayed at home with his mother with no job. Now think about that. On one hand, she demands to have a man of means. But the same woman, when she likes a guy, will be the one that takes care of him. Amazing, isn't it? Female duplicitous nature. So she's attracted to both. She enjoys both. Now she'll pretend she has standards when they really don't. And she's equally miserable with both types. If he has nothing, she mad about that. If he has a lot, she mad about that. Never satisfied. Her son or her father. Two types of men. Now, which one are you? Are you her son or are you Papa? Me, I'm daddy, always. But you can't be daddy. Because I know some of you are pumping your chest thinking that you are Papa. No. Because you can't be daddy if she can dictate at any point in time in your life and in a relationship. You cannot be daddy if she can dictate where you put your bippy. And if she can punish you if she finds you so-called in infidelity. Let's not be delusional, fellas, like women are. If she demands commitment and so-called faithfulness, you're not Papa. Mr. Bippy is being regulated. You are indeed her son. Just an observation, a few thoughts. Black Ram 313, and I'm out.